Hey, Divine Leader, welcome to the 3 keys to go from best kept secret to highly sought after transformational leader. Are you tired of talking to the same 100 people or having 10 people in your programs when you know that you're called to make a bigger impact with more individuals? Do you ever feel like you are the best kept secret, that your message is lost in the sea of voices? If so, you're not alone. I have experienced it, and it's also something that we assist our clients with. And there are physical plane reasons to being visibly invisible, of being really great at what you do, and yet those that are looking for the gifts and talents that you have to offer not seeing you, not finding you. So some of those physical plane things have to do with taking action, like having a podcast is a good example where you're being visible, you're showing up, you're speaking your message, you're taking those actions to position yourself in a way where those that are looking for your contribution can find you. And visibility is often associated with a lot of fear, where there can be this kind of hide and seek visibility, where you're showing up and you're, let's say, writing your message, or you're posting on social, or you're doing a Facebook challenge, or you're on YouTube, or you have a book, or whatever those kind of ways of being visible as an entrepreneur, as a transformational leader. And then what happens is it can feel like you're either just putting energy out, or putting a drop of water in the ocean, or you're hearing crickets. Or after a while, it's like you stop doing those things. And so what's really going on underneath that? And that's where we're going to dive into these 3 keys. Like, what's the safety patterning around wanting to be invisible? What is the payoff, so to speak, about not stepping into being a leader and sharing your mission on a larger scale? So it may seem like if you're hidden, then you're safer. And yet that brings us to the first key, which is when you are visible in your signature energy on a vibrational level, it's actually the safest place for you to be. When you are seen and seeing yourself, vibrationally, it means you're occupying your space. So of course, as you may know, I have decades as an energy intuitive and master and healer and all those things. And so I'm often sharing the energetic secrets behind physical plane manifestations, like being highly sought after in the way that's right for you, having the level of visibility in the way that's right for you in an authentic way. So the first illusion lie around visibility is that, like, being a best kept secret or having less clients, or whatever that's safer. And that's a lie. It's not true, because what happens in order for that to happen is that you're pulling back on your energy, and rather than really occupying your space, rather than having your seat at the council table, really occupying your space as the spiritual leader that you are, that's on a big mission, that's here to contribute, that has extraordinary gifts and talents. And so that first key is actually being seen, being visible, is a very powerful and safe space to be in, because you're expanded, you're occupying your space. One of the analogies that Toth and the Council of Light have often used, especially for highly sensitive individuals and empaths, which you may be, is that it's like you have a house, and you, as an empath, it's like you leave your house, you leave your body, you turn down your vibration, your visibility, you turn off the lights, like nobody's home. And then often in the protective mechanism, you go out and you look what's happening in the neighbor. Are you safe? Like, what's going on? And then that leaves your house open. So individuals can come in, tenants can come in, they can muck up the joint, they can leave garbage and unnecessary stuff, because you're not occupying your space. And absolutely, being a leader means that there'll be individuals that like you and that don't like you. So the first key is being seen is actually occupying your space, and is a very safe place to be. The second key is really neutrality, non-attachment, and knowing that part of leadership is that you want to create polarity. I'm going to unpack that a little bit, because as you know, I'm all about unity consciousness and evolving beyond duality. So you may be going, Danielle, what do you mean you want to create polarity? What I mean by that is the second key is really taking a stand, taking a stance, and having your authentic, unique expression and voice, knowing that it's going to be polarizing, meaning that you're not going to be the cup of tea for everyone. You don't want to be the cup of tea for everyone. I'm not the cup of tea for everyone. And that's a really good thing. So you visibility in your authentic expression is simultaneously magnetic and repelling. And this is also where I see a lot of entrepreneurs, especially perhaps in those first couple years, where there may be that like, oh, this is really authentic for me, and yet I'm not going to say it because people might not like it. Or this not giving a hoot about what others think. It's required, and not from a place of putting up walls, but just from a sense of knowing when somebody doesn't like what you're up to, then it means you're being a leader. It means that you've shared your message and what it is that you're up to in a clear way. And it's reminding me of Yogi Bhajan, where the master of Kundalini yoga. And one of the things that he said was, whether somebody gives you a compliment or they give you a criticism, it has nothing to do with you. It has to do with them. So that may be a way to unhook from it. And my message behind the second key, which is, really the neutrality about what others think or not giving a hoot, is also an acceptance that as women, as spiritual leaders, there can be this conditioning of the good girl and wanting to be liked and all those kinds of things, and almost an avoidance. Like, well, if I don't say things that are gonna ruffle the feathers of others, then I'm avoiding not being liked. And yet, when you just know that it's par for the course, that some individuals you're going to be the cup of tea and some you won't, then when you get a 1-star Amazon review on your book, or you have a client who, and you may not even manifest these things, right? Because you're operating in a different field, vibrational field. When those things happen, it's like, so what? You're connected, you're a force of nature, you're in a much more vaster state, which really brings me the third key to being a highly sought out transformational leader, which is also your vibrational visibility. And your vibrational visibility is multidimensional. So you're visible on the physical plane in an activity like having a podcast, for example, and that's an action that you're taking to get your message out, to be more visible. And that action doesn't always equate being a highly sought out leader, because you can still be taking actions and hiding vibrationally. So when you are tapped in to source energy, to your occupying your space fully, you're in that space of neutrality, that you're more dedicated, committed to your mission and what it is that you're up to, and the evolution in consciousness, and helping those clients and individuals that you're here to help, then there's also this recognition of really broadcasting on many dimensions of you simultaneously, so that an action like a podcast or a YouTube video or an email or a Facebook post, it not only has the visibility of the action, because that's already a whole nother ball game than not doing those things. So I'm really talking about doing those things. You've already gotten through the friction of doing those things, and yet those things aren't creating the results that you'd like. Like you're speaking to 10 people rather than 100, or you have only a small number that opens, or whatever those ways of quantifying. And something's always happening, even if it doesn't seem like it's happening in the now moment. Yet those ways of quantifying your visibility. And so when you start to really match up your inner vibration, your inner alignment with your physical action step that you're taking, then whatever effort you're making gets exponentiated by your energy. And this has a lot to do with manifestation. We talk about this in the Magdalene codes, as well as divine light activation and Ascended Master Academy, really are 3 signature programs, because when you're tapped into more dimensions of you and vibrations, then you're broadcasting on many levels. So this means that you're visible not only to your client in this example or to your reader, because you're speaking directly to them, or you're speaking their language, or you're sharing what you do in a way that they understand. Yeah, you're also broadcasting to their higher self. You're transmitting your message from the level of your heart to their heart. There's all these dimensions of visibility and dimensions of communication and dimensions that are really the source of being highly sought after. And that has to do with your frequency and your vibration and your intentionality. And not only speaking to one aspect of someone, that like an ideal client, yet speaking to all aspects. And that's one of the things that I love about partnering with beings of light, and my experience with the Council of Light over the decades that I've been connecting with them, is that they're always speaking to our totality. And when we're talking about going from best kept secret, so let's unpack that a little bit. Best kept secret means you're rocking, you're creating results for your clients. You already are a jewel, a contribution. You're the best kept secret. Like there's an energy to that where someone and whether you are already highly sought after, or you have a community, or you just are anywhere along the way, there's still an aspect I would challenge you, because you may say, oh, I'm already visible. There's still an aspect that if you're here, there's still something about you that's the best kept secret. Now, that may be really being the best kept secret, and it may be just to those that are looking for you, you're still the best kept secret. And what I love about that best kept secret is that there really is a natural honoring that you have a contribution to give, and that it's a secret right now. It's a best kept. It's being sought after. And that's the case. Like if you have a gift, in the universal laws, the individual that gift is a match for exists. And so that message really was also wanting to come in loud and clear here, that there's nothing wrong with you, or that you have to learn more, grow more, or any of those things. It's like there's a stance of occupying your space to say, yes, I've got the goods, and this can be a contribution for the individual that it's the perfect match for. And that also solidifies any wobble in your vibration that goes visible, invisible, visible, invisible, visible, invisible. Another one of the analogies that the Council of Light share as it relates to manifesting. So let's say you're choosing to be a highly sought after transformational leader, and to be visible to those that are a match for what it is that you have to offer in that right size for you, because it's going to be different from me as another entrepreneur for you. It's like in your sweet spot. It's not just being visible for the sake of being visible. It's really in that right size for you, like Goldilocks. It's not too small, it's not too big, it's just right. Like you're just right visibility, you're just right impact, you're just right reach. And one of the analogies that the teams often shared over the years around visibility and this like being visible and then going invisible, visible, invisible, that whole thing that we've already talked about, is it's a little bit on the manifestation level where you put out your request to the universe. And let's say that that's an order that you've placed. Like there's a lot of online shopping that's happening these days. So you've sent your order to Amazon and you've chosen your order. You've been very clear about that. You've placed your order, and that's your part of the action. That's your step. And then what's happening on Amazon's side, not to compare Amazon to the universe, right? Because yeah, but it's like there's aspects of your manifestations, your creations that they're just none of your business. Like it's not up to you. You're not, just like if you place an order at a restaurant, you're not going back into the kitchen, following the chef, making sure they have the ingredients or following the waiter. It's like you've chosen to go to the restaurant, you've placed your order, you've made your decision, you've positioned yourself in a restaurant that's a match for what you're wanting, and then you wait at the table. You've placed your order. So back to the Amazon analogy, it's like you've placed your order and what you desire is right there. So being a highly sought after individual, calling in your next level client, selling out your programs, having more readers, making a bigger difference on the planet, having experiences where, and this is also coming from what our clients experience and what I experience of like you take one action, you put out one email, and then your program's sold out. So you've placed this order, and then it's like right about to arrive and you move out of your house. So the package shows up and you're invisible now. You're not there anymore. Or you've changed your address. And that's often what happens because you expand. If you have a desire, if you have a gift, it means that there's someone there to receive it. Like that's just the law of polarity in the universal principle. And so at that last minute, what often happens vibrationally, because I see individuals' vibrations, is like you turn off your light, you move, and to be consistent with your vibration and really be shining it brightly is so important to this shift from being the best kept secret to being a highly sought after transformational leader. And so I'm just tuning in here to see if the team has anything to add. Yeah, and it's feeling like I've been sharing what they would have shared. So that's all feeling really good. So the last thing that I would talk about here is also recognizing that there is, when it comes to visibility, there's a vibrational proximity, a vibrational lock and key. So you can be shining your light and being highly visible, and that has a vibrational signature. Your podcast has a vibrational signature. Your book has a vibrational signature. Your business has a vibrational signature that when it's fully unleashed and visible, it's in this certain dimension. It has a signature. And then those that it's a aligned match for, they have a synergy with that signature. it's compatible, it's a match, it doesn't have to be the same. It's not the same signature energy yet. There's a commonality there. And someone that doesn't have this signature energy, they just are in another dimension. They're in another dimension. So yes, there are billions of individuals on the planet, and that's a really good thing to remember. If you're looking to add 10 people to a program or 1,000 readers or something, there's billions of individuals. So it's not like there's a lack of individuals that are looking for what it is that you are the best kept secret in. So we can just take that reason off the altar there, that excuse off the mind chatter. So the individual's already there. And out of those billions, you're not trying to be highly sought after to all of them. You're choosing to be visible to those that you have that divine appointment with, that you're in a similar dimension. And that's not that you're hiding. It's just the way of the divine order of how visibility works, how vibrational proximity works, how the perfect match works. And that can also relax your system, who may have been, just like the second key, really encouraging you to be neutral, to not give a hoot what others think, to be more committed to what it is that you're here to do than whatever individuals whether they like it or not, but to be polarizing in that way. That can also relax your system to go, okay, you can be highly, highly visible, showing up vibrationally and on the physical plane action, and you're still going to be in a dimension where a lot of individuals who they just won't see you. And that's a good thing. Just like it may seem paradoxical to be highly sought after in the polarizing. You want to be highly sought after by those that it's a vibrational match to, and just not even be on the radar of those that it's not. And that is a beautiful thing. So as I'm wrapping up here with these keys, all about really moving from being the best kept secret to being the highly sought after transformational leader, spiritual leader, and really placing on the altar the invitation to just do what you need to do to get over your visibility stuff. Like, just do it. We all have it. And sometimes it's just simple. It's simple as making a choice, placing your order, and keeping the light on the entire time. And if you would like Toth and the Council of Lights and my support with really calling in more aligned clients and this vibrational visibility, we are opening the doors to our Ascended Master Academy program, which also really supports you to create a unique body of work. Because part of the reason sometimes your message gets lost in a sea of copycat voices is because you're using your mentor's modality, or you're doing what somebody else is doing, but you have a unique body of work. And that unique body of work also has a vibrational visibility that's very strong. It's undiluted. So if you're feeling called to find out how we may partner together, I just invite you to PM me on Facebook, or you can email our team here at team@DanielleHoffman.com. And thank you so much for tuning in. All right. Enjoy this increase in vibrational visibility and physical plane visibility.